And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio, RallyPoint.com. Have a chance to be with John Vorperian, who is the president of the White Plains Historical Society. And we're going to hear about some of America's first veterans. John, good to see you. Tell us a little bit about this amazing place, the Purdy House.
Thank you, Ken. We're here at the Jacob Purdy House. It is a farmhouse that was built in 1730, and Jacob Purdy resided here, and the Purdy family was part of the first American Civil War. As you may know, Ken, here in White Plains, about 30% of the village supported the Crown, 30% supported the Patriots, and the other 30% just tried to stay out of the way. The Purdys did participate in the Battle of White Plains, and today, in October, to October 28th, we will be commemorating that battle, which was, in this man's opinion, pivotal to the success of the American Revolution.
Well, it certainly was. In October of 1776, George Washington and his troops were kind of doing a delaying action, leaving New York City after having left Brooklyn, and trying to and making a stand here on the hills above White Plains. Tell us a little bit about why your organization has done so much to commemorate that moment of American history.
Oh, I think it really puts White Plains on the map. I mean, this year we are also celebrating the 45th anniversary of the Jacob Purdy House, in the sense of its original location was about a third to a half mile from here on what was then Spring Street. And in August of 1973, historic preservationists like the late Renata Hoffman and many others who formulated the White Plains Battle Monument Committee were able to move the house up the hill here to Park Avenue and refurbish it. And today we have young people coming through and getting to walk on the very floorboards that General Washington used and held as a headquarters here in October of 1776. We also know that Washington did come back to the Jacob Purdy House in July to September of 1778. How do we know that? Well, a journal kept by Ann Bates clearly states that information. And who was Ann Bates? She was a British spy. So we know that the Purdy House was utilized by Washington, Lafayette, and clearly the high command of the Continental Army had to come through, whether it be von Steuben, whether it be Lord Stirling. And the other thing to note about the battle, and this is something that we will talk about on the 28th of October of this year in 2018, as we have the White Plains High School Marching Band here to celebrate the day with us, as well as News 12's Lisa LaRocca to read the honor roll, which comprises the names of the White Plains militia, of those individuals who participated in the battle. Yours truly will highlight some of the other participants of the battle. Obviously Washington, but we've learned, and the society, the Historical Society, compiles a list we are constantly researching to see who else was here. Now we had a gentleman, and we do have Elijah Lee on the rolls. The other interesting thing is we learned last year that the first U.S. submariner, Ezra Lee, was a participant in the battle. Who was Ezra Lee? Well, in September of 1776, he was pedaling the Turtle, a submergible vehicle, towards the British flagship in New York Harbor. And the idea was to attach a bomb to the flagship and sink it. It didn't accomplish, that mission didn't come through. But nonetheless, he was here in October of 1776, we've learned through research. And also, it should be noted that Alexander Hamilton was here with the artillery, and also there was another U.S. president involved with the conflict. James Monroe, he was here with some other Virginians fighting the British.
Very good. Now, I know you have a very significant dinner in the spring. Tell us about some of the events that you have during the course of the year here to commemorate the Jacob Purdy House and the Battle of White Plains from 1776.
Well, you did mention we do hold an annual dinner, and sometimes we do recognize at that dinner what we call the citizen extraordinaire. It's to recognize individuals who participate in helping the White Plains community. We've named over 30 individuals over the course of the Society's history. Some of the speakers who have blessed us at the dinner have been essentially some figures that you would see on the History Channel, talking heads who have come and talked about their latest books. We've had Thomas Crogwell, the author of Stealing Lincoln's Body, address our organization, as well as other historians.
Well, John, great to see you. Just tell us a little bit. I know you're an attorney here in the area. Tell us a little bit about the legal side of your life.
Ken, well, thank you for that question. But yeah, I did attend Pace Law School, and I am a government attorney for Westchester County and a specialist with the field of child support. In fact, in 2016, the National Child Support Association, for some reason, named me Frontline Professional of the Year. So it's a love of mine in the sense of it's good to know the law and learn a specialty, but also if you can crisscross that with doing good, I like the fact that I'm able to go into family court and help people get their lives mainstream and get support to children.
So important. Just tell us sources of information about the White Plains Historical Society.
We have a presence in cyberspace. It's World Wide Web White Plains history.org. That's whiteplainshistory.org, and there's chock full of stuff there with regards to the books we offer, as well as some of the gallery as to images, photographs of all our events. We try and get them posted up as soon as possible, and that's where you can visit us. Of course, you can always check that website to know when we do open up the Purdy House. We do participate in Pathways Through History, the state sponsored organization event, that is done usually around Father's Day weekend as well as Columbus Day weekend. So just check whiteplainshistory.org and come visit us.
Very good, John. Great job with this, and it sounds like you're going to have a tremendous day, October 28th, commemorating the all-important Battle of White Plains from October of 1776. Great to see you.
Thank you, Ken, and take care.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio and RallyPoint.com in White Plains, New York.